Hello and welcome. I am DM Leech, also known as the Last Hit Point Hero, and I want to welcome you to my friends and I's favorite little part of the internet, ours. Over the next several months, we are going to be working our way through the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure module Curse of Strahd, and I hope that they are ready for what Barovia has in store. Will they be able to lift the taint of the tyrant from this dark land? Don't know. We'll find out. But I'm sure they will have fun dying. Trying. Sorry. A little bit of a a little bit of a DM slip there.
Sure.
First, yeah, no, first and foremost, a couple content notes for everyone to be aware of. No attempt at all has been made to make this adventure child appropriate. No parent shaming from me, but my kids will not be watching this for a very long time. While multiple adjustments have been made to the module, it is still a very dark and stormy story. It's a gothic horror adventure. It's going to touch on dark themes. It contains descriptions of violence, some mild gore, and generally speaking, will likely devolve into chaos within the first few hours or so. While all the players here know what to say or do if something goes too far, you, if you're watching this, simply don't have that option. So I would encourage you that if you have any sensitivities, keep your finger close to the eject button just in case. Barring that contingency, please keep your head, hands, arms, and legs inside the stream at all times. Do not feed the wildlife, they bite. Please do feed the players, only half of them bite. And above all else, be good. That's it. That's the rule. Just be good. I shouldn't have to tell you how to be good on the internet. Just be good. That's the rule. Second most, you probably don't have any idea who any of us are, and that's okay. Let's change that, shall we? So, everyone here will take a moment to say hello, introduce yourself and your character. Feel free to plug any shows, projects you're participating in, games you play, notable accomplishments, international accolades, organ donor status, blood type, and how do you feel about a winter wedding? Just basic first date stuff. So I think that where we should begin is in the upper right corner of your screen, which happens to be a figure stepping out from a smoke filled alleyway. The ever mysterious Noir Enigma.
Ooh, it's like mysteries even in the name. Hi guys, I'm Noir. I am playing Uther Aurulu. I made a terrible last name on purpose just to force the players and the DM to have to say it. I am playing a barbarian today.
All
Ew.
right. Fantastic. And across the battle map from me here before too long is going to be she is repping the fairest of fair foods, one corn dog McGraw.
Hello, everyone. I am Corn Dog. I am very excited to be playing today. I'm playing Ficus Fig, a lovely little halfling rogue who's really peppy and full of sunlight. So I'm very excited to bring her to Barovia and have her have to deal with all of this. I'm not a fan of winter weddings. I'm not a fan of winter. I need to leave the north. And yes, I am an organ donor and O positive.
Fantastic. We'll keep that in mind.
I forgot all of that.
He can't keep group information then.
Third, yeah, you're not the note keeper.
Somebody.
Somebody's
Oh,
not the
crap.
scribe. Continuing around in the deepest, darkest corner of the right column basement, the 1 in 20 D&D.
That's me. Hey everyone. I'm also Gregory and yeah, 1 in 20 D&D on Twitch and YouTube and that kind of thing. I'm thrilled to finally get an opportunity to play Curse of Strahd, especially with this amazing group. And I will be playing none other than Leaf in the Sunlight of Summer, a Tabaxi Ranger, and let's see, blood type I think is AB positive, but I'm not positive. I'm the universal donor, but no, not the universal donor. What's the opposite? The one that
The
can
universal
anybody
recipient?
can donate to.
Yeah.
Yes. which is good.
So greedy.
I think that's it. Winters are
Yes.
fine. Well, I guess winters are fine. I'm already married, so yeah. What else was there?
There's a
I don't
renewal.
remember there. I'm not a donor. I want to be cremated. And I
You
can't
can do
remember
both.
anything else. I guess fair.
Working.
Got him.
Got him. Got him. The
Yeah.
first got him.
I'm trying to do that TikTok thing too, which is just weird. Same thing, 1 in 20 D&D. That's it. I'm just having fun.
Fantastic. Working our way around to the foundation of the left column, the mechanical marvel, the amazing automaton robotic gentleman.
Hey guys, I don't have anything to promote because I'm too busy raising 3 kids. My wedding was on the 4th of July, so we don't dix winter weddings. Aside from that, I am just glad to have an excuse to play D&D again.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And last, but certainly not least, in the top left corner, the one named wonder herself, Niffer.
Hello, I'm Niffer. I'm from the Not Quite Heroes podcast and Tabletop Galaxy. Those are the other shows that I'm on. You can find us on Twitter and stuff. I am playing Bright Zelmnius. She is a artificer, and I am an organ donor. And winter weddings sound great as long as there's a heating option, because I'm not about that cold. And I have no idea what my blood type is.
Fantastic.
I should get that fixed.
Delicious, according to Strahd.
Exactly.
You know what?
He's looking forward to tasting what you have to offer. It is wonderful to have you all here. I'm excited to play. I somehow managed to flip around Robotic Gentleman and Corn Dog, so I'm going to change that. All of you should be, as soon as I get that fixed, I'm going to stop messing with the cameras. But that's why we're doing this.
We didn't hear anything about Solaire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's my bad. I'm sorry.
No
I
worries.
am a Warforged, commissioned by the Church of how you pronounce it?
Lathander.
Lathander, thank you. This is my first time really out and about, and I hope that not only do I manage to grow as learning what it is to be sentient, but as well as keeping you guys alive.
Please do. Please.
That is fantastic. So, to kind of get us started, we'll go ahead and kick off with where we really left off not too long ago. All of you have been invited to the Duchess Marwyn's famous annual Grand Masquerade. All of you have done something meaningful, important, or otherwise notable in the region of Daggerford, and that's why you received the invitation. Turning it down is just unthinkable. No one would turn down a trip to the Grand Masquerade, so of course you all went. Just in perhaps some slightly different capacities. I want to start with Solaire. So, Solaire, you have found your way to the Morning Sun Temple, which is just outside the Ducal Palace. You went in, you met the church, the leader there, the priest, and he kind of immediately looked at you and he points to a wheeled platform. It's only a few inches off the ground, and he says he has a black sheet in one hand, and he looks at you and says, "Solaire, it's wonderful that you made it. I'm excited you're here. I'm so glad you came. Could you please just step up here and please be still and be silent? I need this, please."
I comply without any problem.
All right. You step up on this platform. He immediately whips this black velvet sheet over you, completely covers you. And you kind of feel the squeak of the wheels, and from what you can assume of the little bit you know of Daggerford, you did just arrive. He seems to be wheeling you to the Ducal Palace. You hear kind of a muffled exchange with the guards. My invitation it was lost. The messenger got lost. We're supposed to be here. we are. Just get in, Father Sunbright. Just get in. You're wheeled in, and for about an hour or so, you find yourself standing in darkness, of course, but there's a little bit of music in the background, the conversation of a party going on, um, and there you stand, perfectly silent under a dark tarp. Um, are you okay with standing there? What's your plan? What are you doing?
Um, well, you never told me to stand still. Um, shoot. Can I try and peek under it?
Yep, you lean down and you kind of start to lift up the sheet, and right away you see Father Sunbright, and he kind of pulls it down. You see his face. He's an older guy. He really looks like he was probably attractive in his youth, but it seems like he aged more like a pumpkin than a fine wine. He sticks his head under. He's like, no, no, please, please, it won't be much longer. Please, just stay still, please.
I'll comply.
He puts it back down, and about an hour passes as you kind of hear the festivities in the background. The four of you, the others here at the party, you have found your way to the same kind of hip-high standing table. So Ficus, it's more or less chin high for you or so. So it's a short table. You're all there. It's a fantastic party. I mean, the Duchess Marwyn's parties are just famous for excellent food, for excellent wine, for dancing. And so Bright, Uther, Leaf, Ficus, you've spent that very same hour making small talk, enjoying the wine, the hors d'oeuvres, listening to the music. You look around and you see everyone who is anyone is masked, but here at the party. There are merchants, there are other warriors, there are volunteers. I mean, there's people that have made a difference in Daggerford, and here you are in this group around each other. Um, why don't you just take a second, look around, and as you turn, a completely full-faced porcelain mask who is marking a server walks up to you, tray in hand, and kind of bows so you can reach it. Parsnip wrapped devil in the saddle, he states. And the party is yours.
Yeah, I'll be taking some of that.
Wonderful,
Just-
sir.
Just take a big meaty hand and just grab just way too many.
Excellent, sir. Excellent, sir. There will be more coming around. More coming
All right.
around.
Leaf leans over the. Oh goodness. Leaf leans over the plate and kind of sniffs real deeply, and then looks at the person and just shakes his head.
It's good.
There will be
Try some.
a caviar and creme fraiche coming around also. Sir?
He raises an eyebrow.
Aren't you masked? Can you tell?
Probably not.
Probably a good question. What did you all wear to the Grand Masquerade?
Leaf is wearing a brand new emerald green cloak. Something uncommon for him because he tends to wear the clothes and gear he has until they're really well worn and used and basically functionless because he'll just repair it over and over again. So it's a brand new cloak, and he has a scarf with eye slits over his head with 2 slots for his ears, and it's the same emerald green. But then he also has like a actual masquerade mask that like on a stick kind of thing that he holds up to his eyes as appropriate. So even when he drops that masquerade mask, his face is still covered. So yeah, you probably would just see movement in the material.
The like handheld mask moves up itself.
Exactly.
So Uther is very much like a college kid who found out that he had to go to a Thai event tomorrow. So he is in a hand-me-down, like formal robe that's a little bit too small because he is a Goliath in a predominantly human
Are
city.
the arms ripped off?
Uh, um, they're 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 doing their best. Like, you can see some of the scenes.
They're
Just
holding
like,
on. They're holding on.
hold, like
Hold the
um,
line.
he's got a human sized masquerade mask on his Goliath face. So like, there's one eye that's just like halfway covered.
Love it.
And he's not exactly sure of civil customs like this, so he got a bow tie for the great sword that is on his back, just in case.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love this.
Just like right on the hilt.
I love this so much.
So yeah, he's hogging down his handful of pigs in a blanket, and like, on the second mouthful, I think that's when one of the arms just kind of goes.
It's perfect.
Amazing.
The meant to do that, the tearaway sacrifice.
Of course they are.
So as you guys are kind of looking at each other, Ficus, Bright, what did you wear to the masquerade?
Do you want to go, Bright?
Sure. Bright is unchanged from normal clothing, which is kind of just like a like full like bunch of layered skirts and like a super long like power vest and like average peasant, I guess, like shirt and stuff. And she hasn't got a mask, but instead like her entire face is like painted like shimmery white. And so that's her mask. And her hair, I decided to do like in character. So her hair is like in braids and it's got like all sorts of like shiny baubles and trinkets and stuff braided into it.
Fabulous. And Ficus?
Ficus is wearing some very just nice red shirt as well as pants that are loose fitting so she can comfortably move around freely. I think the thing that's most noticeable about her is going to be her boots. I don't know if you guys went to parties, but in white girl country we wear cowboy boots so that way we can put our ID inside of them as well as anything else we might need throughout the night. So she's got these boots that are a little bit oversized and she's just got all of her things in it. So like she'll be like, oh, that's right, I need my invitation. She's reaching into her boots, pulling it out and handing this nasty foot smelling invitation as she's walking in the door. And she's constantly just like, that's her purse. She doesn't have a bag on her. She just has these oversized boots that are somehow just silent as she's moving around, but just filled to the brim.
Boots of holding.
Boots of holding.
Fabulous.
Who needs a bag of holding when you've got these boots?
Well, the party is yours.
I'll continue
How-
standing here.
Got a good job there.
Is there this covered seeming statue in the room?
Yeah, if you look toward the back, you see what appears to be a rather nervous small fellow. From the distance, he's a little bit older, and he's constantly kind of shoving his hair off to one side, and he has an overly full wine glass in one hand. And you just see him, he's kind of looking around, and he has his arms folded awkwardly, and is smiling and waving to people as they go by, and kind of shuffling those off that get too close to whatever he's standing next to beneath a black tarp, or a black blanket.
What do you suppose is under that cover?
I don't know. Want me to find out?
I don't think such is allowed?
Isn't this a party for us, though? Aren't we, like, just being celebrated here? Shouldn't we be able to see
They're little
everything?
men. They're
Perhaps it is a surprise for later?
Oh, I don't like surprises.
but they're
Okay.
little men bringing treats for us. I think that is where we need to put our focus.
Ooh, the treats. Yeah, I could also see that.
This one had meat with pastries. Yes.
Isn't the next one like fish eggs, though? I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I did
Sounds-
not see fish. Fish have eggs.
About the time you mentioned that, another server comes by. Again, it's that full face mask so that you can't see any emotion or anything, and they bow, and this time it's a much more feminine voice. She's like, caviar and creme fraiche tartlet?
Yes, okay.
Can we get you a shovel, my lord?
This
Thank
time Leaf kind of leans over and does the same thing where he takes two big sniffs and then kind of looks left and right, not really sure what to do, and then very slowly reaches up and takes one off the tray. Like, he seems to have no idea what is happening in this situation.
It's good.
Yeah, as much as possible, Bright has like tucked herself into the corner, like is not taking any food and is not really interacting unless interacted with, and is just kind of like watching everything.
What do people even do at these things? Is anyone dancing or anything like that? Or
right now,
people
there's
just mingling?
there's a very small kind of dance floor off to one side, and there's some that they seem to be doing some kind of a line dance or something. Any of you that would be native to Daggerford would recognize it.
They're line dancing.
Well, not country line dancing. That's still what it's
Nope,
called.
You said it.
It's
You
still
said
what
it.
it's what I looked it up. I tried to find a different word for it, and there wasn't a different word for it. It is a line. It's the
Ficus, you got your
Daggerford.
boots.
Why?
Go. You
The-
go.
Yeah. Cotton Eye Joe's on, Ficus is dancing.
Let's go.
The Daggerford version of the Electric Slide, Macarena, or
Nice.
YMCA, depending on your generation. About that time after that server walks away, there's another. Oh yeah, Uther.
Well, the server does not quite get to walk away just yet.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, feel free.
Where's the other one with the meat and the pastries?
I believe there is another course coming around, sir. Just the last one.
Can I come to you, or do you have to come to me?
I'm gonna have to go back to the kitchens to get more.
Is that where they are?
That's not where you're allowed to be, sir. If I might, we will bring them to you. I will bring you the next course personally. And she just kind of like backs away and disappears for a bit.
Why did they even ask? What is the point of all of this? City folk.
About that time, you're called attention to a woman, the Duchess Marwyn herself, steps up to the main stage where there is a table with 5 chairs sitting at it. And everyone kind of just quiets down, and you see the Duchess, the Duchess, and she's tapping her wine glass in order to get everyone's attention. And the room grows quiet. They're expecting a speech at this point. And the Duchess steps up and says, "Friends of Daggerford, it is a great honor for me to welcome you today to the Grand Masquerade. You represent the very best that our fair region has to offer. It is thanks to your contributions, your strength, that the health and security and success of our duchy continues to thrive. Thanks to the efforts of our merchants, our warriors, our philanthropists, we have become the safest and most prosperous we have ever been, and that is thanks to short of the stray mutts scratching at our door." you hear a heckler from the crowd. Uh, the Duchess kind of loses her composure for a moment, and the Lord's concern is noted. A solution for our visitors, let's say, is in the works. For now, I think it's only appropriate that if I may, Duchess, Soul, you're suddenly jolted as your cart begins to move, and the smarmy guy in the back starts making his way forward. Uh, oh, good, Father Sunbright. Wonderful to have you join us. She kind of whispers to a servant that is nearby. Yes, Duchess. Thank you. I appreciate you seeing us, seeing me. It's wonderful. It's always great to represent the Temple of Lathander and the good work of the priesthood and the temple there. It's wonderful to be able to be here. I thank you. I do understand if the messenger got lost and my invitation was lost. That's not a problem. It happens every year, but I know I simply just know I know the temple is appreciated and I'm glad to be here. Um, I do do have a solution, uh, uh, Duchess. If about that time he kind of gets to the very front of the room and he's been kind of exerting himself talking as he's pushed this large figure forward. Says, Duchess, I understand that these visitors they seem to have brought the undead with them. It's very and the crowd starts. There's murmur ripples through the crowd. Um, the Duchess stands back for a second. We have some small problems that are going to be under control by this evening, Father Sunbright. There's no need to spread distress amongst the good people here. Oh, I understand, but the temple. We have we want to show our contributions, and with a flourish, he rips this black velvet blanket off, and standing before you on this wheeled platform is well, Soul. Why don't you tell us what you look like?
All right. Well, since I was built by Lathander, they basically I'm steel based. They painted me in their colors, so my skin, as you would call it, is more of a golden paint job with kind of reddish rose colored eyes. Any kind of accents they put on me are either silver or white. And I'm also wearing the clothing of an alkalite from Lathander, which obviously has the symbol of the church on it. Aside from that, you probably see my weapon on my back, and I'm just standing there trying to figure out what's going on.
I give you Solaire of Lathander, Paladin of the Morning Lord, and Champion of Life over Undeath. Please, Duchess, grant him my seat at your table of honor, and I know that he will address your problem with great alacrity. Yes. The Duchess kind of leans over to that servant again and whispers something. And you see the servant kind of scurry away and really very hastily prepare a sixth seat at that table that's at the very front. Yes, Father Luke, I am Father Sunbright. I'm sorry. I'm happy to give him your seat, and he will be part of our um, really of our place amongst the champions. For all the others gathered here, before dinner we have the Daggerford Saltarello, and then we shall dine. So please dance and then dine. And the musicians start to kind of tune their instruments, change to a different song, prepare themselves, and a one of the masked servants comes up to your guys' group and he says, "Oh, well, this is easy. You are all here. Yes, you're all,
Bright has walked away at this point, like in a daze, just like zeroed in on Solaire and is like walking straight towards Solaire.
so the other three of
So
you,
has
the servant kind of puts a finger up as Bright walks away. I'll get her in a second. The three of you are invited to the Duchess's table of honor at the front of the hall. If you would please accompany me. Your accomplishments are noted, and she has a special request for you. So please to the table while I fetch the fourth.
This is all so unnecessary, isn't it?
Well, you could dance first if you'd like. We are going to do the dance. Would you rather dance or go to the table right away?
Leaf, do the cha-cha slide.
Carry on. Where would she like us to sit?
You have a position at the table. Wherever you sit is fine. So will you, sir, not be? You are Leaf, correct? Leaf in the sunlight of summer.
That's correct.
I, I had thought so. I didn't want to be too presumptuous. Will you dance or sit?
I'll stand for the moment.
Oh, please, sir, this is my job. I'm here to get you, to bring you up to the Duchess herself. It's a great honor. Uh, uh, uh,
Very well. Calm yourself.
Thank
Lead
you.
on, friend.
Thank you. You, Ms. Fig, I believe. Will you be dancing or sitting for dinner?
Oh, I'm about to turn up, and I go and just start dancing.
That's
Down.
wonderful. And oh dear Lord, morning Lord, give me strength, sir. Will you be sitting for dinner, or will you be dancing first as well?
How tall is Uther?
I don't know. He said it so quietly I couldn't hear.
You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Uther is around 7, 8.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a monster.
Love it.
And he just puts a big hand on the server's shoulder and goes, "There's so many things that I don't understand right now. Is that man made of metal? Is that other man's entire name Leaf in the sunlight of summer?
Yes.
Things are very different here.
So does that
They
mean you'll
are, aren't
dance or
they?
sit? I'm just here. I'm just here to get an answer, sir.
Just yes or no. Oh,
There's,
man.
there's food waiting for me as long as I stand here.
There's more food coming to you when you go to sit.
In that case, Leaf walks over to the table.
Thank you. Oh dear.
Will there be the little meats with the pastries surrounding them?
Those are gone, but there will be meat without pastry coming.
I was
You would like to
promised
rage.
meat with pastries.
I can step aside and see what I can do, sir. I'm happy to be of assistance.
I will. What was it the other one said? I will turn up
So
until
you
the meat with the pastries arrive.
that's very exciting, sir. Wonderful. If you please just step right this way, we will be clearing, and you kind of notice that there are more servants that start clearing these short standing tables that you're around. They're kind of clearing a much larger area as the band is getting ready.
But he just like lumbers on over to wherever the server's taking him.
Okay. So Leaf heads up to the table, Ficus and Uther head to the dance hall. And Bright, as you head over to the statuesque metallic figure in the middle, you lean around taking a look, and on the other side, you see a familiar face. It is Narillo Tatalia. She is Esmeralda's sister and a member of your caravan, your cousin. Bright, is that you? In Torsi, dear?
No.
Oh no, wait.
Sorry.
Wait.
I
No,
never forget if I'm supposed to answer no or yes to that.
you answer no.
Okay, no.
But
No.
Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't let me dance with a ghost for now. You can answer that later. I'm happy dancing with a ghost. A kind of willowy girl in a mask made of brightly colored scarves that billow over her shoulders. She tugs on your arm and says, "Come."
I,
Most
but I want to like point back to Solaire to be like,
he'll still be there. We must dance. We must dance. Most of it's dull, but I do enjoy the grand jeté. Tell me, you are standing with them. Which do you think is the best dancer? She kind of points to Ficus and Uther as they work their way over.
who looks like they're getting down more.
Well, that sounds like a goddamn. Oh, that sounds like a gosh darn performance check. If I've ever.
That's what we'll find out shortly. As the music begins, you separate into two groups, and it is a very formal dance. It's slow, it's deliberate. This is very much like a step and bow and step and curtsy, step and turn and step and bow.
Did a lot of research.
It's it's one of those like 4 measure dances that you just repeat over and over and over again. But we should probably see how well you repeat that over. Oh, and Solaire, are you going to dance, sit? Are you going to just stand on your platform?
I'm going to step off my platform and ask the priest who brought me here what exactly is going on.
Just go sit by the Duchess. You can dance if you want. I don't know if you dance. Do you dance?
No, I haven't
Can
been
leave your
taught
friends
that.
behind?
I was just thinking.
It's very easy. It's easy to learn, and like he like terribly fumbles through the movements for a little bit. It's a simple dance. You can learn it quite quickly if you'd like.
I just walk past him and go to the Duchess.
Safety dance.
That's wonderful.
Does the robot?
So the
Sorry.
That's the line dance. That's what's happening.
that is
They're all-
it is. They're all
It was too easy.
it was
No.
it was right there.
No. Mm-mm.
So the 3 of you who are dancing, go ahead and give me a performance check. It's not difficult, and you're familiar enough with Daggerford to have some idea. Some of you do.
Are we rolling in roll 20 or do we get to do our
I'm
own shiny
doing
tracks?
so well.
You can roll in roll 20 if you want, or you can roll real dice. It's up to you.
I really like my click clacks.
Oh.
Oh, I just saw what you rolled though. Oh,
Tell everyone what you got.
That's a natural 2.
Woo! So, and then Bright, what did Bright?
I rolled an 11.
All right.
10 plus 1.
So we're gonna start with the least on beat. Ficus, what's going on out there?
You know, I'm not one of these city folk. I don't know the dance moves, so I'm just kind of like moving to the beat of my own drum, as it were. And just, I'm very much like dancing in the wind, like total arms all over the place. Yes. Like there's music playing, but that doesn't matter to me. What
You
matters
have a
is that
drink
I'm
in your
doing what
hand,
I
too.
wanted. Nope, no drink, just hands like flopping.
All right. Yes.
Big drinks in the boot.
And
For such a small person, like I am taking up the most possible room.
you're like, so there are these like 2 rings of men and women, and they're trying to dance and concentric circle, and like going through the middle of them, you've got Ficus that's just bumping in. Excuse you. Oh. Bright, you were next. It's going quite well. You know the dance. You're staying on beat.
Oh, I'm impressed with myself.
Well, it's not a hard dance. It's a very easy dance. Not particularly impressive, but you are on beat. Across from you is your good friend Narilla, and she's just like, I hate this part of the dance, but it gets better. It gets better. And Uther, despite his bulk, is apparently a natural. Whether it is muscle memory or what it, maybe he I don't. Uther, do you secretly dance the
Uh,
Daggerford Sorello by yourself?
no, so what happened with Uther is that he when he fights, he observes people to kind of figure out which way they're gonna go to fight better. So he gets into the circle, trying to figure it out. He finds a partner. They kind of take lead, and it doesn't take long for him to kind of go, "Oh, okay, simple enough," and then he like twirls them, and then like since now that he knows the steps, it's very easy for him to fling his partner about with his strength and bulk. So,
Wonderful.
so he's just got his partner just all over the place.
Fantastic.
Adding aerials that weren't supposed to be here, but it looks great.
Yeah, that work with it. I mean, that's really the challenge. And Bright, Narilla, as she's dancing beside you as part of this, she says, Bright, they do not trust us, Bright. They never do. We must show your friends the truth before they're asked to do something extreme. As soon as dinner is done, I want you to come and meet me. Whatever they ask you to do, come and meet me at the Clean Chin first, and be sure you're ready for a fight. I want to prove that this is not us.
Okay.
Epic Otter, thanks for the follow. You will come to the Clean Chin, yes?
Yes. I do not know what they will have me do.
Well, I have my
I will-
ways.
I will try.
I know what they're going to ask of you. They're going to ask you to get rid of us. And she spins away as part of the dance. The grand jeté begins, and all of you notice, so the two concentric circles break into lines, and the couples make their way through the line, skipping and doing something fabulous, whether it's a spin or a twist or a leap, something just... Some of them are just trying to jump as far as they can. Some are leaping in the air and twirling. A couple of them are fantastic. Some of them are terrible. And Ficus, you find that you and your partner are about to go down the center for the Grand Jeté itself. What approach are you going to take, Ficus?
Like, I know that there's apparently a partner attached to me, but I don't know them. I don't know what they're about. So I'm just gonna keep doing my own little dance, and honestly, like, I kind of want to like try and kick up into a backflip or something like that to prove that like I'm here to just go hard.
Sounds good. Give me an acrobatics check as you make your way down the center for the Grand Jeté.
I want it known that as soon as Narilla said that to me, I just like stopped and stood very still and probably broke up a large part of the dance.
So
In shock. Just like
there's a little bit of a crash, but nobody notices because Ficus starts a floor routine. And it started as a backflip, and then she realized she is rather small as a halfling, and so she had plenty of space left, and added the half twist in there. And then there was the second backflip, and then the handstand itself. There was at least 4.5 feet of height on that final leap before sticking the landing. And there's like, while other people are getting like, oh, polite applause, there's like legitimate, did you see what she just did? She had no clue how to dance, but that was amazing. I mean, like, it just ripples through.
For those listening, that was a dirty 20.
That was a dirty 20.
Yes.
And oh yeah, they're not showing up because I haven't populated the top of the screen, and they're coming from the top, so that's all right. Uther, you find you and your partner have, it's your turn for the Grand Jeté. What route are you going to take?
Seeing Figgis and
no.
examining the dance the way that he did.
She did.
Oh, she did. Sorry, I'm so sorry. He thinks that that's how it goes.
Give us an acrobatics check.
Oh, please.
So
7-foot tall man does a backflip.
you see the large Goliath kind of make his way at the start of the line, and He takes just a moment to collect himself, and I think it's only appropriate, Noir, if you tell us how wrong it went.
Okay, so he spins his partner, lightly pushes them back, stands, takes a deep breath, puts his hands in the air, goes for a backflip. He gets his feet in the sky, but the rotation stops there,
Uh huh. Yep.
and then it's just a full on head, like you drop a pin straight down. It's just
Yeah.
That's exactly how I got my concussion.
The dance floor shakes a little bit, and there's still there's the polite applause, but there's a couple people like, "Are you okay? Is that are you okay?"
That was an 8 for the record.
Yep, that was an 8.
I meant to do that.
Absolutely fabulous, and you can make your way down to the end of the line.
Like he wobbles.
And then Bright, you find yourself kind of stunned. You're shaken by what Norella had told to you a second ago, but it is still time for the Grand Jeté.
Is she still around to like do partner thing?
Yeah, she can be your partner for this. That's fine.
Please-
You fold
please
back
tell me
together,
no.
and it's her, and Norella's like, "This is the best part," and she takes off.
I just follow whatever she's doing and try and go along with it. I assume maybe we've had antics in the past that I would have an inkling of what she does.
So she starts, but she trips like part of the way, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, ah!" She only rolls a 4, and kind of stumbles on her acrobatics check. And it could have been that she had too much to drink, whatever it was. She makes her way to the end, but she seems disappointed in herself.
Oh.
So Bright, are you going to acrobatics
I'm
as well?
trying to copy her. I rolled a 14 for whatever she was trying.
All right, so Bright does. It must be something that you guys had done together before, but she was a little off and stumbled, and you flipped through the air beautifully. A couple handstands, some cartwheels. Not as impressive as Ficus's display, but
I
still.
like the scarves on my skirt, so it looks pretty and stuff.
Yeah,
Or-
absolutely. You get to the end of the line and are greeted by a servant at the end who points to the head table.
And I just like look at Narilla to be like, am I getting any more information out of her?
You
Or is she just gonna like smile at me or anything?
You turn to look at her and you don't see her. Some point during your flips, she slipped away. You can make a perception check if you would like.
Nope, I will resign myself to being alone and confused and scared. It's fine.
Okay. And you are directed toward the head table where Leaf is already sitting, and Solaire is
Yeah,
sitting
I
as well.
imagine there's
I sit next
imagine
to
there's, like,
Solaire.
a heavy tablecloth
Mhm.
over the whole thing. So Leaf has just been sitting there, like, looking rather nonplussed, just watching and observing. But like underneath the table, his foot has been like tapping the music, but nobody can see it. He's just sitting there. Yeah, that's him right now.
I sit next to Solaire and try not to creepily stare at him.
She's definitely creepily staring at you, Solaire.
I'm like hands are literally like holding themselves in my lap so that I don't like start a conversation and just start going wild. But it's a lot of like
She's like,
I have
white
not paid
knuckle.
any attention to her whatsoever. I actually addressed the Duchess, Your Grace. I was. Oh,
Yes. Solaire, is it? Solaire?
correct. I was commissioned by the church to come here because you had a great need for the services of the church. I would like to know what I requested of me so that I may go immediately and take care of it.
Oh, yeah, of course. All in good time. Give us just a moment because it's something that really would require a larger group, and I have brought together, I think, just the team that we need. So I do you eat? I don't.
No, I don't need anything to consume.
Do you want something to write on during dinner? I mean,
No, I will wait. I will wait. I will wait for the. I will wait for a briefing.
that's very kind of you. That's wonderful. The rest of you kind of make your way up to the table, and there's 5 seats now. The fifth seat was added next to the Duchess. And as you sit down, kind of the rest of the party kind of reopens. The music changes back to the the kind of chimier music instead of the waltz itself. Um, the Duchess turns to Ficus and says, "No, I didn't think you were going to pull anything off at all, cause you are doing your own thing out there. Let's be honest. But that Granchete was one of the best I have ever seen.
Thank you.
Very
And
well
I just
done.
sit there as like tall as I possibly can muster, knowing that like Nor is or Uther is near me at the table, and like I am just tiny, like not even the size of Uther's arm, but I'm trying to be as big as possible.
Yeah. Before Uther even sits down, he walks straight to Solar and kind of just pokes him.
He says, "What?"
Pokes him. He just, are you a metal man or a man in metal?
I was built by the church to further the will of the fair. As you speak, yes, I am made of metal with. Oh, what is my core made out of?
I don't know. It's
Oh,
up to you.
yeah, with a magical core.
I
would,
sneak my notebook out and start writing this all.
I would like to arm wrestle you one day.
I
I
do
would
not
also like
recommend
Oh,
that.
Ooh, the glove has been tossed.
the Duchess turns to you all and she goes, "Oh, please, not now, not at dinner. I have asked you all up here. All of you have done wonderful things. You really have. You have each shown yourselves to be of great value to Daggerford, and I need your help one more time. As you see, I do not want any trouble at all. You see, trouble is very, very bad for business. But irate guild councilmen are also very bad for business. And I don't know if you heard that earlier during the speech. We do have some unwelcome guests outside our walls. It seems a troop of Vistani have arrived fairly recently. Um, and well, I
Did you say they're unwelcome?
Well, you see, not personally. I have no issue with the Vistani at all. But we also have had a rise in well, we have some undead issues, and timing has been unfortunate in that this issue
We are
started.
not responsible for that.
Oh, I am not saying directly that you are, my dear. In fact, one of the reasons I invited you is because I am aware of your heritage, and I thought that perhaps you could help, deliver the message. We asked them not to camp in the caravan grounds, but further over, just beneath the tannery, just to give a little bit of distance, just in case. um, but you see, what it really comes down to is, as long as the undead issue is resolved and they are politely asked to be gone by morning, I I have no issue. That's all that I want. Now, if you have to be brash, you can tell them she's going to burn your caravan down if you don't leave by morning. But just, I can't be seen as weak among the council, you see.
What is a Vistani?
Uh, the travelers, they party a lot. They have a lot of fun. There's some drinking. Um,
Like the people here. He just kind of looks at all the
about that time, you see somebody like completely just spills a goblet of wine. They're just absolutely wasted. uh,
Vistani.
he is not Vistani. No, it's different. It's different. You see, I have nothing.
Oh,
No, not this. This isn't I'm just look. I have nothing against Vistani. They're just different than me. That's it. They're only a danger to those that stay at their fires a little too late. That's all. And she kind of shrinks down just a little bit. It's like I just need them to leave by morning. That's all.
Your hospitality is remarkable. But what is this you mention of undead? Isn't that the purview of the church?
Well, it's
He looks over at Solar.
well.
Solaire, excuse me.
Oh, that is why I was commissioned to be here. Just point me in the right direction. I will go immediately.
I knew nothing about this individual. I know a lot about Luke Sunbright and had no interest in his. No, I'm saying too much to you. Th- it's something that I'm sure you can solve. And as long as both get taken care of, I'm fine. And I do think that if one's taken care of, the other will as well.
We don't do anything with the undead.
It's poor timing. What can I say, my dear?
If the undead are taken care of, the Vistani can stay.
Unfortunately, the guild councilmen do not feel that that would be wise.
So Vistani never stay anywhere in one place for too long anyways. It should not be a problem.
So you're right, it's no problem if they just go. I'm glad we're on the same page, my dear. She kind of like awkwardly takes another bite of her food.
I have hunted many men and beasts, but I have not done any hunting of the undead. Perhaps this is a rare opportunity. What is it you would have us do, Duchess?
Well, first and foremost, I need the Vistani to know they need to leave. And then after that, we've had some issues over by, well, most issues have been put down rather quickly, but in the merchant region, over on the eastern side of the city, where there's been a few rumors of undead wandering the alleys, which it's not too far from the prison, and the morgue, and oh, that's Hanette's place. So Hanette is our barber, but also our mortician.
I'm sorry, I think you're thinking of Sweeney Todd.
Oh, no,
That was a niffer.
Sweeney
It was not Brett.
left years ago. Sweeney left years ago. He did leave a beautiful barbershop, though, and Hanette was happy to occupy it.
Really
Y'all
nice.
make it really hard to stay in character.
But
okay, sorry.
I'm sure that she can point you toward the issue. She runs the Clean Chin.
This job.
Is she here?
Well, I tire of this, whatever it is. Would anyone care to join me in dealing with these situations?
This job.
Let's go take care of this now and quickly.
Yes,
Does
so
it
we can
pay
prove that the
gold?
Vistani are not responsible for this.
I believe you, dear. I do.
You seem familiar with the Vistani. Perhaps you would like to take the message to them. We can accompany you.
So
He's addressing Bright.
Yes.
A moment. This job. Does it pay?
well, I mean, we can certainly make some arrangements if that's required.
I would like that.
I mean, it's just a message, and to ensure that there's no undead wandering around. I will give you 5 gold pieces for every undead you slay.
How much is lodging in Daggerford?
Oh, you're here for free. You're my guests.
If I were not.
It
What?
depends on which room you want. I suppose if you stay in the nicer part of town, it could be as much as a gold coin a night. But I mean, that's only at our nicest tavern. It's a few coppers to stay in other places.
That is good to know. I will kill your undead, and I will buy room choose for the Vistani, and your solution will be that.
Oh no, they can't stay in the city.
And we don't want to. We
That's
have
good
our
to
own
hear.
caravans.
Hmm.
So you're
It is
Dastani?
not so way. I was. I am.
Well, which is it?
Um. It is.
Well, while you think about that, perhaps we should head towards the edge of town. I tire of this, whatever it is. Leaf is going to stand up and make his exit.
Soul's gonna
Before he
nod
does, he'll kind of bow somewhat awkwardly, but it like also kind of formally. Like it looks like he'd feel more comfortable saluting her than bowing, but he chooses to bow to the Duchess and says, I suppose I should thank you. I'm very unfamiliar with these. Have a good evening. And he walks away really uncomfortable and clearly done with this.
Thank you.
Soul follows behind after giving the Duchess a nod.
Appreciate it.
Uther is gonna get up, bow slightly, adjust his sword's bow tie, and go.
Are you like grabbing food off the table and eating as you leave?
Yeah, but he's just gonna go. I believe what is happening here is terribly unfair. And she
Yeah.
keeps walking.
Bright like packs up her journal, like push it and like slams her napkin down on the table and just like walks away without like leaving properly to the Duchess.
Yeah, while everyone was talking, Ficus was like gathering food from other plates nearby hers. And like she's been putting together a pack, like as if she were ready to just, dip with as much food as she possibly could. And by the time like the Duchess notices her, she's got like this big napkin just filled with food.
Are you gonna put that on your foot up, your shoe of holding?
Shove it in the boot.
I'm not gonna put it in the shoe. That other people should be able to eat this at some point. If it was just Ficus's food, she would probably do that because she's kind of gross. But grabbing that whole bag, just nice polite smile, and then just walks out with this big, just as much food as she could possibly carry on her person. With a piece of bread just shoved in her mouth.
Thank
The
you.
epitome of the breadsticks in the purse. I need to go.
Thank you, everyone. The sounds of the party fade behind you as you leave out down the Duke Way and toward the eastern part of the city. I suppose you're heading to the Clean Chin, or what's your plan?
What was the name of the thing that my cousin told me? Did she also say the Clean Chin?
She did.
Okay, cool. Cool, not cool.
So on the way towards the Clean Chin, Uther is just gonna walk by Solaire and go. So do you eat?
No, I did not require sustenance as you organisms do.
Do you sleep?
That I do not require either.
Do you drink? Like it is just gonna be that.
Nice.
All right, that conversation can fade into the back.
As these questions are peppered at the back of Solaire's head, he politely is answering each one in turn. You step out of the ducal manor, and an evening has fallen deep. I mean, it was a late dinner, and it's getting, the sun has set. It's grown dark, and there's a mist along the road. The roads of Daggerford are not paved, although the city is large. It's not. It has yet to really come into its full being, and so you're kind of following the muddy path down the Duke's Way, and all of you
One
are.
thing I want to say one thing that as Leaf exits the building, like when he gets out to the street, there's this moment where you see him kind of like take in the night sky or the fresh air and like, and then he just like throws the mask on the floor on the ground. He looks at it and then just tosses it on the ground and starts walking towards the encampment.
So you guys, you're going down the Duke's Way. You come to the high road, and you have a decision to make. Are you going to head to the Vistani first, or do you want to go to the Clean Chin?
Do we
Well,
know where they're encamped?
we don't know anything about
She
the Clean
told you
Chin.
they were out by the tannery, and all of you are familiar enough with Daggerford to know that the tannery it's outside of town a
The worst
little
place
bit.
to be in town.
It's the worst place to be. So they're beneath the hill under the tannery. What actually happens? So the tannery is just past the bridge that leads to the south, and generally speaking, so the water runs out past the tannery, and all the city's filth is basically just dumped over the bridge so that it passes the tannery on the way out of town.
Worse.
I'll go talk to them first if I'm leading.
I you could be. Leaf would definitely take take the lead, quote unquote, since he was the first out.
All right. Well, I guess we follow him.
I mean, if he knows you all are coming, he would probably wait to just walk with you. So when you get to, I guess when we get there, he would ask, "Well, friends, which task should we attend to first?"
Well, I'm here to destroy undead. These things about mortals, that's more of your business.
Bright, you seem to have some familiarity with the Vistani. Do you think that it'll be all right if we speak with them later?
Yes, we. They do not. They don't go to bed early. I guess.
Do you get Charlie horses?
So you guys kind of break off and head up the high road over toward the drill field where the Clean Chin is. And you're familiar enough with Daggerford, you know where to find the Clean Chin. And you guys actually get to the first map of the game.
Oh,
Tell me if anything doesn't work, because again, it's a tech end of things.
I see our people.
That should be about it.
Yep.
As you approach, it's the Clean Chin it's butted right up against buildings. It's in a corner, basically in between the town guard barracks and the Dagger Thrust Ales, which is just one of the brewery taverns around town. It's a popular place. It's a good place to get a haircut. The barber there is named Hanette, and she is a dwarven woman, and she serves both as the barber and also as the mortician. So she fills both positions, and those who want to look presentable find themselves in her shop so that they can have their wake in style.
Make you look good, dead or alive.
Exactly.
It's definitely Sweeney Todd's.
It's actually written on the window. Look great in life or death. The door's closed and the curtains are drawn. And let's check some perceptions real quick. And then both Soul and Leaf and Uther, all of you kind of recognize some movement behind the window right next to the door, which is right here. There's a curtain drawn, but there's a little bit of like shaking in there or something.
Did you see that? And I just want you to know that blended in with all the other questions that he's been asking.
I stopped listening to you like 20 minutes ago.
Amazing.
Yes, it would appear there's someone inside. I am very unfamiliar with this town and these people. Do any of you know this person?
I'll go knock.
Or we could do that.
As soon as you step forward and start banging on the door, you hear a voice from inside, a little bit of exertion. It's like, I think they're here, Narilla. I think they're here. Come in.
Okay.
Marilla?
And Uther's gonna walk inside.
Sorry, I'm having trouble grabbing that to get it
Oh
out
no,
of
it's
your
all
way.
good. Good
There.
old
I'm s-
dynamic lighting.
There you go.
I'm gonna follow in as soon as I hear Norilla's name. I'm gonna be like, ooh, and then
So Uther, as you walk in, there's a dwarven woman, and she's like leaning against a door. You see some chairs next to you, some barber chairs in front of you, and what you assume is a reception desk to your right. And she's pushing against something. And as soon as you walk in, as soon as that door opens, all of you kind of hear a low goof, goof coming from the other side of the door. Not too far away, there's this willowy young woman. She still has her scarf, but she's pulled it up over her eyes so that now it's just a scarf wrapped around her head. That these trails of rainbow scarves that come down across her front. She does have a sword strapped to her hip, and she's also exerting herself against a door. And she's like, oh, Bright, so good of you,
Norilla.
so good of you to come. Um, I I'm glad you brought your friends because we have to show them that this is not brought on us. You see, we are not
I
the
said that.
scourge. We are the ones who are scourged. Annette, do you trust me? The dwarven woman kind of looks at her and says, well, yes, of course. Good. And Annette
Oh
and
no.
Norella
Oh no.
steps away, and as soon as she does, the door that she was holding breaks free. And within the room, you see it starting to rot, just nasty looking
Yuck.
zombie comes through. And Hannette kind of pauses for just a moment, and she goes, okay. And she steps away from her door as well. And there is another in the room next to her.
Uther's gonna go. Oh, that's disgusting. Solar, can you smell that?
And then I need everyone to roll initiative.
First combat. Hey, 16 for Leaf.
13 for Bright.
13 for Uther.
Well, that's 3 13s.
Okay, Rob, you have to click on your token first. So click on your token and then
Oh, flip.
Okay.
choose roll initiative.
Can I just say I love that we have Leaf and Ficus and we have Soul and Bright. Like that
Yes,
makes
I
me
have-
happy.
And I'm an asshole that. I'm the, and I'm the guy that messed it up.
No, you just get to be partners with the DM.
Hey.
Oh Lord.
Are you finding it, Rob?
Nah, it's been so long since I had to use this thing.
Open up your character sheet
Yep.
and then click on your token. Click on Soul.
Character sheet.
My notes
Soul.
are very, very disorganized.
I
And
think
then-
I just see the 14s.
And then when you hit initiative, it should roll it.
Oh, that one. Okay, I see it.
There
we
you
Just
go.
taking notes for this company, by the way, y'all.
Oh,
I've been
it's
taking
definitely
notes.
Uther. He's learned so much about
Sure.
Warforges.
So, as you guys, oh, there it is. So as Narilla opens the door, the zombie kind of looks at her, and then looks up toward Narilla and turns its head, and looks over to Bright for a moment and seems confused. Leaf, you are first to act.
So did I hear what's going on inside?
As soon as the
'Cause I
doors
was-
opened, you
I
could
was-
hear the groans.
Okay.
So that's probably the best you'll hear. And the banging has stopped.
All right. He was indicating that Solaire and Ficus should go in first, but seeing as how there seems to be something
initiative.
amiss inside, yeah, I think he'll go ahead and just take his, take his opportunity to enter the building and take a look around. Yeah, That's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I'm gonna go ahead and try to shoot the thing with an arrow.
All right, go ahead.
So you've probably noticed that he carries a longbow. He unslings it quickly and will take a shot. Hey, that's a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit.
8 piercing damage.
Arrow flies true from your bow, kind of catches it in its upper shoulder. It seems nonplussed.
Well, this night just got far more interesting. Leaf stunned for the moment.
Okay. Narilla, who has backed up over this direction, she says, "Annette, darling, it will be fine. Just trust me." She pulls out a light crossbow, steps back here, and prepares herself. Uther, go ahead.
Buddy.
Uther.
Uther, my dude.
No, sorry. I'm looking at my rage ability here.
Oh boy.
You know what? I don't think it's working for this. So he's just going to charge forward. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh no.
On second thought, maybe I will get angry.
He's still not quite angry. He's still more curious because he doesn't know Solar can get a Charlie horse, and that's bothering him. So he's just going to swing for the fences. Oh boy, this is not off to a great start. That's a 10.
10 hits.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be 9 damage.
Your greatsword just slashes across it. It kind of flinches back again. And at first, it wasn't paying attention to you when you ran up, but after you cut it, it kind of its eyes turned to you. The one behind it is like looking past you. It doesn't seem to be paying you much mind. Bright.
I am, because I don't know where my spellbook is. I'm just gonna pull out a light crossbow like my cousin, and did she fire or she just waited?
She's waited. She backed into the corner and waited.
I'm gonna move over by her. Not like all the way, like I'm gonna take like a few steps out of the doorway. And just kind of like look at her for like, what are you doing? Why aren't you engaging with these creepy
She
things?
seems ready to shoot.
Yeah.
So she's not like, but she seems ready to shoot something.
Yeah. And then I guess I need to stand like there to get a shot at the one that Uther was going for.
All right.
I dropped my click clack. Hang on. I rolled a 1.
So you're really distracted by Narilla and wondering what's going on. So you take your shot, and Uther, you're like standing there. You just got done slashing with your sword, and all of a sudden, there's a bolt that sticks in the door frame, like right next to your head. Anything else, Bright?
That's
Okay.
all I got.
The dwarven woman she takes out a hammer and she looks right at the zombie and she kind of goes, and she backs away this direction and just kind of stands there. And the zombie doesn't swing at her or anything. It doesn't seem to be paying her any mind.
Curious.
Now they will get to act. So this one kind of stumbles into the room, and it doesn't seem like the person who this was particularly wealthy. They're just wearing some normal burial clothes, and they're a little decomposed, but really not all that bad. So it's 5, 10, 15, and it wanders past Uther. Uther, you can take a swing at it if you would like.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Does it stand on the chair?
It's going past the chair.
Okay.
It just might get hit by Uther, so I'm waiting.
Oh yeah.
13 hits for 11. and you take a huge slash out of it. I mean, like you cut the back of its legs and it stumbles a little bit and it like catches the chair by accident. It kind of turns to look at you in that. Um,
Not cool, bro, kind of way.
yep, and then instead of continuing its movement past you,
Yeah,
it
come
instead
get some.
turns and eyeballs you, and it lifts one of its meaty fists and does an 11 hit you?
It does not.
So it like its fist hits you, but it just like.
Yeah, feel those pecs.
The other one in front of you, kind of, you now have its attention. And it groans and it slaps at you just as ineffectually. Just another
Traps.
hand like hits you right across the chest. And then we have these. So you hear it. 2, 3, 4 as another zombie kind of appears from the back room. And Uther, this one just comes up close and it's like trying to look past you. It doesn't seem interested in you at all. We go down to Soul.
Right. So I guess I'll take my step in. We'll get there. And I just look at him with my two-handed warhammer. 21.
21 will hit.
Yeah. And then...
Show off.
Oh, sorry. First one. 13.
No, 21 hits. That's another... Wait, is that your...
That
first
was
roll.
another roll. So where it's
Actually-
in the tech chat where it says Warhammer two-handed, click on that. It'll roll your damage.
Oh, okay. There we go.
8. So you club this one right in front of you. Your warhammer comes down on it. You kind of hear as something breaks beneath your hammer, but it just kind of stumbles. It doesn't seem too bothered by it, and instead of ignoring you, it then kind of turns. Ficus.
I am gonna just pop right in here. I did not know what was going on because I could not see around my friends. And then upon seeing all of these beings in this room, I really want to make sure I kick the door behind me.
Okay.
So that way it shuts. And then I'm gonna sidestep. And I'm just gonna fire a nice short bow arrow right at that guy.
Absolutely. Go ahead and take a shot.
Where is it? There we go.
This Ficus carefully lines up her short bow
Oh.
and
Critical hit!
sends an arrow straight through. And I assume that you're sending your sneak attack damage through on this
Oh
attack
yeah,
also.
send all of that.
6, 7, 8,
through.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Ficus came to turn up.
So Ficus comes through the door, draws her short bow. Foomp, the arrow hits, enters into the zombie itself, and let's see, that is,
Looks like 17 damage to me.
yes, it is 17 damage. So
Damn.
it's terrible. So it like gets hit by the arrow, and it like turns for a second, and like reaches out to you just before collapsing to the ground in a heap. It's no longer moving.
Luther just looks from Ficus to the dead thing to Solaire to Ficus to the dead thing and go, oh, okay.
Circles around to Leaf.
That was a great tactical move there, Ficus. Keep them enclosed. I like it. I'm gonna repeat my action and just fire again with the longbow at this one right here,
Absolutely.
right next to our friend. Hey, that's another dirty 20.
That'll definitely hit.
Try to get this one off our Goliath friend. So that's gonna be 10 piercing damage this time.
10 piercing damage. The arrow flies and hits it straight through the chest. And you would think that something like this would go down after being hit by that. And it like stumbles and it slows for a minute, and then it just kind of rises back up.
Huh, what is this? Why don't they fall like other creatures?
They fall when Ficus hits them.
Anything else, Leaf?
No thanks.
Narilla in the corner will go, you all jumped right in attacking them so quickly, you see. They would have come straight for me. Or maybe Bright, I really wasn't too sure, but I knew you could handle yourself, dear. You see, we didn't bring them. They're chasing us. And Narilla takes a shot at the zombie next to him, hits with her
I
hand
knew you
crossbow
could handle
somehow.
this, says the one to the person who crit failed.
An 8 will hit, and her crossbow bolt strikes it, and again, like this bolt like goes straight through above the eye, and it sinks in
Cool.
all the way. You just have the tiny little bits of the feathers sticking out the top, and any other normal creature would go down, but this one just.
Now with a bolt sticking out
Now
of
with
its
a
forehead.
bolt sticking out of its forehead and an arrow sticking through like its cheek from the back of its head. And that's her turn. She's like, huh. Well,
You
that's it.
say they are after you, huh?
Yes, they chase the Vistani.
Interesting.
I can tell you more at camp. Uther, it's your turn.
Alright, let's do this. Okay. I'm going to hit the one that's in front of me.
Sure.
Just as a matter of pride. Gotta kill it. Yeet.
14 will hit. So your sword comes down again. It cuts through across its chest, and like its burial clothes that it's wearing have parted, and like it's after 2 massive slices from your sword, like the shirt falls away, and you can see it's just ravaged, and it's barely holding on, but it doesn't go down.
He just like puts the sword aside and kind of like pokes at the thing, like, really?
Bright, it's your turn.
So the crossbow didn't work, so I'm just kind of like gonna freak out a little bit that apparently I'm bait to these things, and then I'm gonna set it on fire.
All right.
So I'm gonna cast Produce Flame cantrip, and that's a nat 20.
Okay.
Boom.
So
That will
that
hit it.
is, I hope so. So that is, well, I rolled a 1 on that dice, so it's 2 points of fire damage.
2 points of fire damage.
I am not meant for combat.
Just checking something briefly.
It's your first day.
It's all right.
It's fine. Normally these dice are so good.
All right, got it. So it catches on
So-
fire, and like the fire starts crawling across its body, and the fire
Ugh.
catches. It definitely catches, and the thing starts to burn, but then the fire burns out, and you're just kind of left with the smell of charred flesh in the room as it just.
Gross.
Somehow you've made it smell even worse in here. Well done.
I'm sorry.
Annette kind of backs away with her hammer a little bit. She's like, Narilla, is this under control? Yes, dear. Of course it's under control. They have it under control. I told you they could control it. And that's it.
Yeah, also, because I'm a big flavor person, what it looks like in terms of under control is that, Bright, like, pulls her headscarf off, and, like, her hair looks like Captain Marvel's when she's, like, using her powers. Like, it looks like it's on fire, and she just kind of, like, sweeps her hand down her braid and, like, flings it up towards the zombie.
Oh,
and, like, that's what Produced Flame looks like for her. It's just, like,
fabulous.
throwing fire off of her.
That's
It is not under
fantastic.
control. It does not look like she is in control at all.
So, Uther, you have some
Interesting.
friends next to you.
Let's get it.
The one to your left is going to slap at you again. Does a 17 hit you?
17 does hit me.
So instead of just like slamming at you, like its nails catch you and drag down, and you take 3 damage.
For flavor. Oh, never mind.
We love the flavor. Please go.
And there's a second attack that hits, right?
The other one directly in front of you swings again, like as you turn. The other one gets you, and you take 3 more damage.
All right, so once the first
no.
one hits me, the second one I kind of see coming, and I flex at it. Like I just flex all my muscles, and I'm gonna use Stone's Endurance as a reaction and reduce the damage dealt to me by 1d12 plus 4.
Okay.
Woo.
Have you had your turn since your opportunity attack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. All right, just checking. Yep, you're good.
So yeah, I just kind of flexed that one off. Like the first one got me, the second one didn't. I didn't even feel it.
Do you want to roll your d4 or do you want me to?
It's a d12.
Oh, d12. Sorry.
D12 plus 4, so his minimum will
Oh,
cover it.
okay.
Yeah, that's how I did.
I missed the +4. Okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, so you flex and it hits just as hard as the other one, and the nails drag down. But instead of cutting your skin, like the nails give way instead. And then
Chest day every day.
No.
Put in the work.
It's gonna be a long adventure.
Put in the work, you get the results.
there is one more zombie in the room, and it wanders around. It's trying to get past its friend and past Uther, and it's like it keeps looking past Uther. It's not really paying that much attention to him at all. That's their turn, and it goes down to Soul.
All right, so I'm just gonna walk straight up to the nearest without saying a word, and he will get a taste of Warhammer as well.
Okay,
Nice.
15 will hit.
All right. And then apologies. There we go. All right, that's 11.
So you're
8.
Oof.
It was 11 if it was a critical
Yeah.
hit.
So that is
sorry.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it takes that hammer straight to its forehead. I mean, you cave its head. Both of the bolts snap underneath your hammer, and like, and it just turns to you with like this gaping hole. It barely passed.
Wow.
I don't like this.
Ficus's turn.
All right, Vicus is gonna pop right up over. Oop, nope, not that far, not that close, not about it. So
That's
it's right
rude.
here, and just going for this guy right here
Sure.
because she doesn't want to try to shoot through Uther.
7 will miss. So you
Ugh.
take a shot and it like passes through where its head would be if a hammer hadn't just collapsed it, and the bolt kind of clatters across the room. Leaf, your turn.
So Leaf is he sees that it's getting a little crowded. He calls out, is there any other way into that back room?
Hanette goes, oh yeah, through the door there. There's another door.
Very good. So he's gonna shoot one more time at the one closest. The 10 should hit, and
Yep.
that's gonna be 10 more piercing.
10 more
Apparently, I
piercing.
can't roll above a 5 on my damage die.
Oh, boo-hoo.
So this time, as your so your arrow kind of stacks into this thing's head that has just been pelted over and over again, and it finally gives way and collapses to the ground in a heap.
Okay,
Yay.
so once that's done, I think I can do. Let's see. I'm going to use my feline agility, and then I'm going to take my movement now,
Mhm.
and this door is open here. Yes.
Yes, that door is open.
Okay, perfect. So here's 20 feet to there. How about this door right here?
So that door is also open. Yes.
Okay, so I move to there and see that there are others. I will take a chance and step in here and then to my right. So I guess they will both get opportunity attacks.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, I mean, if they choose to, and then I'm gonna try to run back over to here.
Yeah, they'll both take a swing at you at the way by. The first one is an 11 to hit.
Miss.
It takes a swipe on the way by, and both of them kind of like flail at you, but it's like that type flailing, and you slip past them.
There's just 2 more, friends. Let's be quick about this, shall we? That's it for Leaf.
And Narilla in the corner with her crossbow is like, you guys are doing fairly well. The big guy, he's keeping them from getting to me, and it pretty much ruins the illustration when you hit them and they don't chase after me. Oh, wait, no. So, Leaf, one of those would not have attacked you. So this one would not have attacked you on the way by.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
So, yeah, that one didn't attack. But Nurilla's just there with her crossbow. She's like, well, let me see if I can get a shot down here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Hey, cuz.
30, and she will take a shot at the one in there. She will hit. And her crossbow bolt kind of goes underneath Uther's armpit and lodges itself in the throat of this. And it's definitely the kind of hit that if it were any other creature, it would go down. But it's just... its groaning becomes a gurgle.
I mean, he's a foot taller than the door frame, so...
Uther.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, you muted
You
yourself.
muted yourself again.
Still muted.
Still muted. I don't know how. You said that so loud I could hear it.
Oh, now I can hear you.
There you went.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. So it's like the. Okay. Anyway, I am going to swing at this thing again. Let's hope.
On.
25.
Yay!
All right. Despite an amazing
Holy moly, 17 damage?
17 damage is amazing, and it almost passed anyway. You like cut one more time, and this time it like your blade passes through, and there's this like moment of confusion because it's still standing there. It's like, and then like the top half just starts to slide.
You just hear Uther go. Finally, I've done it.
Right, it goes
That
to you.
great sword's bow tie must be so bedraggled by now.
Oh, he adjusted afterwards.
It is askew. The bow tie is askew. Bright, it's your turn. Unless Uther, you want to move?
Yeah, I was going to advance inside to now take on the one that is inside. So probably
Remember to duck.
I've been this tall for a very long time. And you just to not be standing on that exact token, it's gonna stand there.
Sure.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. It goes to Hanette, and she kind of holds her hammer, and she looks around. She's like, "Oh dear, this is gonna be terrible to clean up, isn't it?" And then this zombie, as Uther has passed by, its eyes lock onto Narilla in the next room, and it suddenly has purpose again, and it starts advancing. 10.
Wait, did I get my turn?
Up attack.
Yeah, do I get my attack of opportunity?
I didn't get a
Oh,
turn.
yeah, you skipped over.
Soul. No,
Bright.
Soul. Did I? How did I skip Bright?
Because
Narilla. Oh, yep,
it
I
was
see.
gonna be my turn, and then we talked about
Yep.
Uther again.
Sorry, go ahead, Bright.
It's okay. I wasn't gonna do anything anyways. It's fine. Is there a way that I could go and I could see in to see people? I don't want a crowd. Ooh, if I move just 10 feet. Yeah, you know what? Let's get this guy right here.
Go for it.
I think I have a spell for this. Yeah. So I have Thorn Whip. So I am again gonna give up on my crossbow, and I'm just gonna like push up my right sleeve, and there's like a cool like metal bracelet wrapped all the way up her arm, and she's just gonna like do the underhand fling again, and then like the wire of the bracelet like extends into the thorn whip, and she like tries to hook on him and grab him and pull him towards her.
Fabulous.
So I'm just using so many druid spells right now, and it's great. And I'm having some regret about my class. Just kidding. So I get to spell attack.
Okay.
Plus 6, 8 plus 6 is
It's
14.
It's enough. 14 will hit.
I would like to do that. It's a d6 of damage, and I would like to pull. It's 6. The d6 likes me.
Hey.
Woohoo!
6 points of piercing damage, and it is pulled 10 feet closer to me.
All right, so it's just kind of like as it's pulled forward, and that's forced movement, so Uther doesn't get to slash at it.
Yes.
Anything else, Bright?
Huh? I'm gonna like look around because apparently I attract zombies, so I want to make sure none of them are coming towards me besides the one I just pulled. That's it.
Luther is a
Okay,
very
cool.
sad boy now that he doesn't get a free swipe.
It
We'll work on it.
its eyes definitely switch from Narilla to Bright as she's closer, and also Vistani, and so it will make its way around the table.
Not technically.
Or no, it wouldn't. It's just a zombie. So it is going. Get out of the way. It's going to go down there and try and swing at you over the table. Will a 13 hit you?
Me?
Yep.
No.
So it tries to slap at you, but like the table gets in the way. It like falls short. And it seems particularly just confused for a moment, and then it goes to Soul.
You're muted,
You're
buddy.
muted, homie.
Apologies, I'm eating. Yeah, since he brought himself to me, I'll just give him.
I brought him to you.
Well, yeah.
You're
since
welcome.
He was delivered. Just gonna give him another smack with my warhammer. Where are you? There you are. Apologies.
Oh,
Nice hit.
It connects soundly.
everybody's so cool.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. I get a +2 against
24.
undead anyway.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
So
All right.
26.
Yeah, so 9.
Just had to outdo me, didn't you, Robot Man?
It's the hammer like buries in its upper chest. You see like one of the arms completely go limp. Anything else?
You get the bonus to damage as well, or just attacks?
I think it's all skills.
It's not
the-
attacks. It's just to know about them.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh.
I should have read it again.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go. Do I get that? I get 2 actions, right? No, I don't have second attack yet.
Not yet.
Nope, that's all I got.
All
That's
right.
all I got.
It goes to Ficus.
Oh, too close, too close, too close. So I'm just gonna set my crossbow or my short bow down real quick, and I'm gonna stick them with the pointy bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
No, I'm not. No.
You stick, but and it like goes in, but like it doesn't even react. You're doesn't seem bothered.
That's nasty.
You're on the other side of the room. How can you see?
I see y'all.
He heard it. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's like the
Visual.
ASMR moment. It's just a gross sound.
Everyone just give your best gross slurping, apparently.
Circles around to Leaf.
So, seeing that this room appears to be clear, he'll kind of hop up on one of these coffins find that somewhat amusing, and then take one more shot with the longbow.
17 will hit.
17 to hit. 9 damage. Oof. I still
9.
can't get over a 5 on my attack damage roll.
That is enough. So,
Yes.
like, Ficus is trying to jab it with her dagger. Or what do you have? Do you have a dagger or a short sword?
Rapier.
Yep.
I shot it through the back of the head.
Yeah, so you're like stabbing it a couple times, and like on the fourth attempt of it ignoring you, it like lurches forward at the exact moment. And you have this brief second of like, yes, I got it! And then you see the arrow that has just appeared through the end of its nose as it collapses in front of you.
That was rather unpleasant. And then Leaf kind of like, he sniffs the air to see if he can detect any others in the area.
There do not seem to be any others. You're quite confident you've taken care of them all, and Narilla's like, she starts counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's all of them. Well done, everyone. Well done. I knew you would see that they were definitely attacking me, right? You did see that.
What did you do?
They follow us. I did nothing. I am just me. As I said, we are not the scourge. We are the ones who are scourged.
Can I insight check?
Absolutely.
All right, let's.
If we're to believe you, how long has this been occurring?
We are always followed when we leave our home.
Where is your home, and why don't you stay there if you're followed when you leave?
Well, you see, have you not spoken with Bright? Well, I'm sorry. She reminds me of someone. She's not who I'm thinking of. But when we are home, when we are in our land, we are protected. But when we leave, when we travel, all the very things which we're protected from follow us until we return. But we can't stay. Why would we be planted? I could never tolerate a life like that. And so we adventure, we travel, we come around. Well, no, come. Come back to my caravan. Stanimir would like to speak with you.
I look to the dwarf woman. Will you be all right then? Perhaps you'd like a hand clearing these corpses out.
She has put her hammer down and picked up a mop, and she's like, I'm used to cleanup. It's fine.
Uther's just gonna take one last look at the one he cut in half. Kind of just give himself a nod. Like, I did that. And then he's just gonna follow towards the encampment.
Yeah, he addresses the Vistani woman and says, well, I am Leaf in the sunlight of summer. And you are?
Oh, me? Well, I am a friend, of course. A friend by the name of Narilla. Would you like to accompany me to camp?
Proceed, Narilla. Would the rest of you care to join us?
As everyone starts to leave out, so starts reciting the Lathandrian prayer for the undead,
Wonderful.
which I have written down.
We'll recite it then.
Let's hear it.
Your last sunset, go into the R's of Lathander. Be in his eternal warm, soothing light. We will miss your light. We will cherish your moments. Your children, your legacy will continue through your offspring. Through them, you shall live on. And I'm done.
Fabulous.
So precious.
I would like to suggest that is worthy of inspiration.
Oh, I forget about inspiration. It definitely is. So, Soul, you have inspiration, which
Neat.
that you can basically you get another roll if you want to take it. D20.
Okay. I I just pocket that.
You pocket
On
that.
your sheet top left, there should be a little spot where it says inspiration that you can click in the box.
I see it.
That'll be your reminder.
Nice.
Um,
All right.
kind of in the back of this, Bright like rolls up her left sleeve and she has like another bracelet that like wraps all around her fingers and stuff, and she just like holds it up in the air and slides her hand out, and then the hand itself just like floats around and starts like cleaning up a little bit as I cast Prestidigitation, and try and help her like clean the blood and stuff because I feel bad.
It's fine, dear. Don't worry. Like I said, I'm used to it.
That doesn't mean we don't have to help you.
I'm sure you have business to attend to.
Okay. And then just like holds the hand back and it replaces itself, and then she follows out with her cousin.
You guys make your way out of town, and oh, geez, it's almost 11:30. Now we started a bit late, which means actually my timing would have been pretty good if we started right on time, which is kind of reassuring for me.
Good job.
We have basically one more social encounter and one more combat. We can put it on hold and we can start our first stream with that. Or if you guys are fine, I'm fine long enough to finish up.
I can muscle through.
I usually go to bed at 1 anyway. I'm
Right on.
Insomnia.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
If everyone, it takes everyone's buy-in though. No pressure. You two, pull the plug for now.
Corn dog.
Yeah, if you guys ready to go, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm cool
It-
with whatever.
It seems like a good place to stop.
It would be, yes.
I have an early morning, so
Okay.
Valid.
I would love to keep playing, but the responsible thing to do is.
Yes.
Then we will end with this. As you guys are walking along the trail outside of the city of Daggerford, it doesn't take long before you start hearing a incredibly lively tune playing. You see a campfire and a number of shadows dancing around it, surrounded by 4 half-barrel caravan wagons. It's hard to make out the figures from here, but you can definitely tell from the laughter and the dancing and the song that they are having a fantastic time.
This is a party much more to my liking.
And with that, we shall stop for now. We will have our official stream, first stream, on June the 3rd, Wednesday, June the 3rd, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You will see us pick up at the camp of Stanimir, being led by Narilla back to camp, and we shall see what these visitors have to say for themselves. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching us. Players, thank you for being fantastic. I had an absolute blast. Yeah, that's it for us. Everybody be good. Oh, wait, I forgot. So usually when we end, we are going to end slightly early. So rather than ending at 11:30, we'll end at about 11:15 and spend a few minutes just talking about the adventure. Now, as we get into the Curse of Strahd and it gets to be a little bit more intense, then that 15 minutes will become more and more important, because we can talk about what maybe didn't go well, or what we didn't like, or maybe what we hoped to do. You know, the big goal of this is, you're bringing light into darkness, and if the dice go poorly and you don't manage that, well, we're going to take some time to kind of cope with that together. So just real briefly, because usually we'll have like an 11:30 as a hard cutoff, incredibly briefly with 2 minutes left, what is something from each of you about this inaugural Session 0 pre-adventure?
I would like to know if the descriptions of the combat and such were okay with everyone.
That's a good thought.
I'm
I
perfectly
enjoyed it.
fine.
I was good with it.
Yep.
I kind of, as the combat went on, I kind of
Excellent.
tried to slowly. I was trying to be deliberate about a slow elevation in what was happening to try and gauge everything, and I didn't see any overly negative reactions, so I kind of kept going with that. So it's good to hear that is the case.
I think if you keep it to about where cartoons do zombies, you'll pretty much stay okay.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. Usually cartoon zombies don't take multiple arrows to the head and a hammer before going down those, so
They do lose their heads though.
Just forget about the greatsword. No, that's cool. Whatever.
look.
I'm about to say-
So by the way, I loved the fact that Uther he's absolutely hammering on this dude, and it looks like he's getting nowhere because everybody else is attacking the other ones. But so him on his own did so much damage, but it didn't go down.
I think an arrow ended up dropping it. Didn't? Oh no.
No, you got it. You got it.
You
No,
got it.
you got it.
It just took the big hit to take it down.
Yeah. So he hadn't gotten rid of its hit points yet.
And I'm just gonna say Uther and Fig.
Oh, fabulous, Sammy! I'm glad that everything sounded great.
Sorry. that's
Yeah,
it, right.
the zombies that you have to kill and they get that stinking undead fortitude. That one
Yeah.
was not going to go down. It just wasn't. The first one, Ficus crits and kills, but like all the others just will not go down. That was great. So sorry, robotic gentleman, you started to say
sorry.
something.
I'm going to say Uther and Bright. I am totally enjoying you were trying to annoy So. And just let you know, he is
I'm
not
not trying to annoy
going-
you.
you.
I want to be your best friend and also mechanic, but best friend.
Uther trying to annoy. And
So Uther
I-
sees Soul as an immediate rival, and he's
Yeah.
trying to figure out everything about him.
I'm just
cannot
saying,
wait for this.
I'm enjoying the party interaction right now.
Awesome.
And yeah, I hope for more of that.
I have one question for our GM.
Yes.
Hey GM, did you decide to make the zombies chase the Vistani before or after I said I was going to be a Vistani?
So I had chosen before, and no, the one thing that kind of threw is the thing that you know and that I know and they haven't heard about yet. That question in Torsi, and I wasn't sure what to do with that, and I had only kind of decided.
It's kind of cool.
I had only kind of decided what they were going to do, and it ended up not mattering because they kept attacking. So,
Cool.
but it'll probably matter in the next one. We'll see.
We're gonna run away from zombies.
Maybe you don't have to run from anything.
Oh,
I'll just
Us run away.
remind you are level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, are
Sometimes
we
running
starting
away
next
is the
session
right.
as level 1 still?
So that's a good question. I took basically I was watching how you guys did in this combat, and I think that we're going to be fine remaining at level 1. I intended the next combat to be level 1, so we'll be fine with that. But
I'm okay with it being difficult. Like, don't feel like you have to, what do you call it? Like, balance the encounters and stuff. Like, we need to make smart decisions.
well, I found out I put something in that would one-shot 4 of the 5 of you if it hit.
Oof.
So I went, oh wait, no, it can't do that. And it was a poor kind of judgment decision as I was watching the combat play out. It's like, okay, yeah, it'll probably miss, but I don't want to start our initial. It's like, because I don't. There's not a lot of healing around right now, so
Do we have a healer?
We have a paladin.
we have a paladin. He can
we have
wake
5
you up.
HP so far.
yeah, everyone
Yeah.
but myself.
Right.
Everybody can have
Well, you
one.
can do yourself unless you're unconscious.
It says constructs can't be healed. Am
No,
I
you can
found
be
a
healed.
construct?
Healing
Oh,
magic
okay.
works on you fine. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
special. It's a special thing of Warforged. So does medicine
Right.
checks. So people can wake you up too with a medicine check.
I also have cure wounds if I need to.
Oh,
so
good.
I
Okay,
can
good.
be a healer too.
Did anybody get hurt in this fight?
You
Besides me?
You got hit twice, and only once did it hurt.
Yeah, because I flex.
You did. You flexed. You flexed on him. You pulled out the Terry Crews peck bounce, and that fist just bounced right off of there.
Totally. I love it.
Uther does insanity.
Good stuff.
Fantastic. So yeah, so So that was a brief version of what we're going to do every week. It's not just time to chit chat, but also the question that 1 in 20 asked was absolutely perfect. How was that for level of combat description? That's the sort of thing that's really important for us to talk about. And I'm so glad that you did. I had an absolute blast. Any closing words from any of you guys before I hit end stream?
See you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Can't
2
come
weeks.
soon
I'm
8
excited.
8:30 Eastern Daylight. And as long as there are no other comments, questions, concerns, conundrums, or qualms, just remember to be good, and we will see you next time.